Hello guys, right now we are starting the introduction part of Java. So in this lecture we will learn about write syntax in Java and how to use the function, how to write code. If you don't have any idea regarding the programming language, you can start watching our video from starting, like from lecture 1. You will get to know everything, every basic concept in Java programming language. So here we are starting with the introduction part. First I will discuss what is Java. So Java is basically a programming language which is created in 1995. What is the main basic feature of Java? I will discuss that. What happens that Java is platform independent programming language. So due to this, we can use this language in many platforms. So we are using it in mobile application, especially for Android application. Another is we can use in our game for mobile and system, and we are using to connect with our database. The database have might be of anything like big data, SQL, and lots of database are there. So if you have to connect with that, like when we code something, we are creating this front end and the back end. But what the main concept of that, we have to connect the whole code of front end and back end with the database. So with that, the Java helps us with connecting to that and giving output to the user or a specific efficient data to the user. So that's why we are using Java here. It is written that we are using in mobile application, desktop application, web application, web server, application server, games, database connection. So what I will discuss here is why we are using Java. Okay, that I told you earlier that why we are using Java. So some more features will be there. What is the syntax of writing code in Java? That's another thing. What is main method in Java? How we have to print something. If we have to print, if we have to get output from the user, if we have to get output on the screen, then what we will do? And that we will discuss in system.out.println. These all are the syntax, okay, of writing code. Java comments. What is Java comments? Java variable. What is Java variable? We all will discuss in this lecture 1. Now, why we are using Java? So I told you earlier that Java works on different platforms. So if you're using Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, many Android for the mobile purpose I'm telling, and also so these all include the Java. So what happens that we can use independently. The main feature of the using independently is that what Java does is it changes all code into bytecode. Remember this, it will ask sometime in MCQ, that's help you to reuse the same code anywhere. So that is the one more feature of platform independent. Okay, and this is open source. This is also an open source, so you can access this. And as Java is close to C++ and C Sharp, okay, Java is also close to C++ and C Sharp, so it will make you easy that you can learn Java easily if you know C Sharp and C++, or if you know Java only, then you can easily change your stream from Java to C++ and C Sharp. Means changing the platform of working is easy. That's why we are using Java language. So all this kind of features, there are lots of features there regarding the Java. For the slides I will discuss about that and why we are using, what is the main feature, what are the profitable features in the Java. Okay, so here we have syntax of Java. So as I written here, that public class my class, public static void main print args, and system.out.print welcome to aptitude buster. Okay, so you have to look at every word and every single colon, and so here it is written public means access. What means this is the access modifier with a deep concept later when I will discuss about the access modifier and all, but here I will just give you one clarification that we are using public because this class can be accessible from anywhere. What feature of Java make platform independent? What happened that it makes easier for every platform which working on bytecode. So nowadays if every digital thing is working on bytecode, so it will make up more comfortable and more easy for the platform. So that's why we are using Java. And one more thing is that Java is an object oriented language. So in OOPS what happened that we will discuss about inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. We will discuss about class, what is object. All these topic discuss about how to construct a code. Okay, let's say that I'm taking an object as a dog. So if dog as an object, we can create an class as an animal, like animal is a class, and which we are discussing about the dog runs, dog bark, like dog sound. So all these we are creating a one construction of the code or one blueprint of an object when we are discussing. Then we need OOPS. OOPS is basically about the data management. What we can say, data management means the security purpose, encapsulation in that. So all these features come under object oriented program, which okay, it's written here that it gives clear structure to program and allow code to reuse. If as I told you, it is platform independent. So if one code is written in this system, okay, so you can use in another system also, any package from one file to another file, we can access the code, we can reuse the code. So that's why we are using public. Inside the package or outside the package, we can access this. When we have to make a class, you must have to specify it with class and then my class. My class is the word, it must be a start. The starting letter should be the uppercase. Must remember this. The starting letter should be the in uppercase, and it should be also the camel case for the grammatical error. So here you can see my and class. So M in my and C in class, both are in the uppercase. So it will differentiate that both are the different word, but it is written as the one class name. And one more thing, that the main class name must should be the your file name. Whatever will be your file name, it should be the name of your class name. Okay, and then semicolon, I will discuss about this. And now the public static void main string args, I will talk about what the basic thing in this. So this is the main function of the Java. This is the main function. When, right, let's say that we are creating two or more classes, okay, 2 classes, 3 classes, 4 classes, but compilation of the code must related to the, so when we have to create one main function, we must have to use public static void main int arg. Public means, as I told you, it is accessible from inside the package or outside the package also. A static means object in the function, it will take as a string as a class, strings as a class and arg. So you have to remember this part. Every main class you must have to write this part, public static void main strings a string args. Okay, so after that, if user has to print on the screen anything, they must have to use this syntax, like system, the S should be the uppercase and then all will be in lowercase. So system.out.println will give you the output on the screen. Okay, let's say if I will run this program, it will show the output that welcome to aptitude buster. Every line of the code runs in Java must inside the class. Every line should be inside the class, and inside this function also, the public static void main. So what happen if you have different class, and you must have to connect that class with the main class also. Okay, because when the compiler run, it doesn't care about the another class, it will run only main function. Okay, listen this word carefully, that when compiler runs, it doesn't care about another function, another class, it only execute the main class. If your different classes are connected with the main class, then only it will execute, like that coding line will execute if that is connected with the main function or main class. That's it. And the here we have named this as my class, and a class should always start with the uppercase. As I told you that the class should be uppercase, and Java is case sensitive. In one my class, that is the uppercase, M is in uppercase, and another my class, M is in lowercase. So both are different meaning according to Java. Okay, so you must have to take care about the cases like uppercase or lowercase. I shown that this one, in my class M should be upper. Okay, in class the first letter should be in upper, and in system.out.println the first S should be in the uppercase. You must have to take care about this thing. Okay, so I will move forward with the another slide. In this slide, what is main method? As you can see in the previous slide, we have main method. Method and a function both has the same concept. Okay, we are writing here the executable code. Okay, that's it. So system.out.println written inside what? The main function, public static void main, that is the main function. So the main function or method is required, and you will see it every Java program, because this is compulsory that you must have to write code inside the main function. Or if you have to call the another class, you must have to mention the class name inside the method or function. Okay, any code inside the main, it will get executed. That's the simple thing. Okay, you don't have to understand the keyword before and after. It's written here, you don't have to take care about what is written there, but that is already defined. It told you that what the public mean, what the static mean, what the void mean, what the main class means. Okay, so you don't have to take care about that much, but you have to remember because it will start from there only. For now, just remember that every Java program has a class name which must match file name. I told you the file name and the class name initially for the main class and for main function, these should be same. So you must have to take care about, and the cases, lowercase or uppercase, it should be the uppercase only. First letter, first alphabet of the class should be in uppercase, and then which must matches the file name. Okay, that's done. And that every program must contain the main method. As I told you, should contain the main method because only main method get executed by the compiler, not any other. If any classes or method is connected with the main function, then it will get executed, otherwise it won't execute at all. The next slide is system.out.println. It is also okay, I told you that it must be inside the main class or it should be called inside the main class, then only it will run. Inside the main method, we can use the println method to print the line, print public static void main string args. It will be compulsory or in all Java program. And then system.out.println welcome to Aptitude Buster. Thus the whole thing, the system.out.println in which S should be in the uppercase. So it will give you the output on the screen. Now we have to take what is the note in that the curly braces marks the beginning and the end of the block of code. Okay, if you can see the public static void when we have one function, in the starting we have one curly braces, at the end we have another curly braces. Means whenever we have to start any function, any class, we must have to start with the curly braces, and it should end after that class end. It should one close curly bracket, it will close the whole class or function. Okay, and each code statement must end with a semicolon. Each code bracket, like already written here, system.out.println welcome to Aptitude Buster semicolon. So if every code, you must need to write the semicolon also, because for loops we don't have to use. I will discuss all this in the another slide, but I will tell you for concept that for loop, if loop, while loop, do while loop, we don't have to use the semicolon, but for the statement line, each code statement must end. Code statement, get that? Code statement must end with the semicolon. And what is Java comment? Okay, now I will discuss about Java comment. Java comment can be used to explain Java code, okay, and to make it more readable. It can also be used to prevent execution when testing alternative code. Let's say we have a code of 20 to 30 lines. Okay, I have written that code and I gave it to my friend. He is unable to read the whole code, okay, because I use some different logic, some different functions and all. For the more readable purpose, we using comment line. So if I write this function line statement is doing this work, so it will be more easy to understand the second person to whom we are showing our code. Okay, this is more readable. That's the thing. It should be readable for anybody. For you, if you write a code today, you have to go with the code after 10 days or 20 days or 1 month. You must have to that much specific, that which line in which statement this code gonna execute and what this statement means. For that purpose, we are using the comment line. We are using single comment line, start with 2 forward slashes. When you use 2 forward slashes, then it is used as a comment. What comment do that? When we will run the compiler, when it see that there is a 2 slash forward slash are there, already understood by them. If there is any 2 slash and after that something written, that is not to be executed. That is only to read, for the reading purpose only. Let's say we have written here system.out.println welcome to Aptitude Buster, then semicolon, then 2 forward slash, then this is a comment. What happened that the compiler will run only this system.out.println welcome to Aptitude Buster. It will print. It will not gonna print this is a comment, because we already used the 2 forward slash. It means that you have to show a specific that this code means this. This is not for execution purpose. Any text between 2 slash and the end of the line is ignored by Java. Java compiler compiler what it does, that it ignore, it will not gonna execute. Multi-line comments, like if you have to describe one function or one class, you must have to write more than one line. We are using one with the one forward slash and one asterisk. We are using a multi-line comments, so we can use at the starting, at the end of the line. It not going to be executed by the compiler. For the next slide, we have Java variable. I want to give you example. If you have to fill your tank name is something different and your tank type should be different. If you have to fill something solid in your tank, there is something different tank type. Their name should be anything, their name should be anything like A, B, variable, anything, but the tank type, what type of tank. If we need a solid stuff to store something, we have to store, then we need different type of tank. If gaseous kind of stuff, then we are using different type of tank. We can label the tank name by anything, so variable name A, B, C, and what is given in the questions we can also write. What is the syntax of that variable? First we have to specify that type is the data type. In this type we have to write integer, float, character, string. Like integer will take only integer part, float will take decimal only it will take, and for the string it will take only the string part, for the character it will take only one character. That type of data storage, that is called data storage. What kind of storage will be there is defined by the data type. Okay, what kind of material you have to store, solid, liquid or gas. For every different tank there is different kind of type, okay, of a storage. So variable is just label name of that tank, called this tank called name. So we have to specify, but all names should be unique. Okay, if we use float should be with a different name, int should be a different name, means variable name should be the different also. So to create a variable that should store text, look at the following example. Okay, for what I told, that if you have to store solid stuff, then you must have to get that kind of storage which is capable to store the solid material. So what we have a string name is equal to John. A string is what? Data type. The storage type, what kind of storage we have a string type of storage. What that tank called? That tank called name. The label on that tank is name, material inside that is called John. If we have to print the name, so what we will get, what is inside the tank, that we will get. So system.out.println name is referring where the tank called name. What is inside the tank, that is John. So what we will get as an output is John as an output. That's it for the first lecture.